Dawn of the realms. At first there was none, but one, an infinitesimally small green speck on a blank canvas of vast nothingness. But as all does, expand it did, growing to a plump green infant, roaming the expanding nothingness. And as time passed, this infant grew, and developed, into an immense chunk of green titled Shrek. As one's intellect is brought to a point, it shall be given the exam of creating lesser intellects. There he created three to power the multiverse. From the vault that was Shrek's will, he first created a being with a body so reproduction-worthy, and a face so fellatio-potentialized, Fiona, the observer of the swamps above. He then stubbed his toe, at which he ripped it off and tossed it away. However, like the green deity himself, the remnant of toe expanded into the contusion that was Lord Farquaad, who became the observer of the swamps under. Finally, Shrek decided he needed a loyal steed. He then defecated a galactically enormous heap of fecal matter, and sculpted it to his will, into Donkey, who also became the observer of the swamps between. And as his three underlings grew more intelligent, they developed different judgments of the universe around them. Fiona saw no reason for conflict and hierarchy among lesser beings. Farquaad developed his philosophy that for life to truly flourish, there must be rules and order, and those rules must be strictly implemented, and those who posed a threat deserved no place on this plane of life. As all three had skirmishes between each other, one apple fell too far from the tree. Farquaad had stolen Shrek's almighty blade of the ages, born of his own earwax. As he witnessed his precious sword hijacked, he called in a meeting in the Temple of the Swamps. When Farquaad laid his eyes upon the green giant, Shrek uttered these words, "Check yourself before you Shrek yourself." As this ayored, earwax dripped down Farquaad's earlobes. Shrek instantaneously grew to realize the severity of this predicament. Farquaad had broken a sacred unspoken law, theft of other beings' bodily fluids. Shrek laid his chubby green fingers on Farquaad's short neck and hoisted him up to eye level. Farquaad relayed only one message to him: glory to the true, and to hell with the faithless. Shrek lobbed the king into a waterfall, and at that moment, the primordial war erupted between the two titans. This was only just the start of the 5-billion-year war to dawn all wars. Just once this conflict began in 10 billion BK, billions of lifeless pawns were lost. Shrek and Farquaad created armies beyond comparison, mindless diabolical entities created by their bodily fluids. At the finale of this conflict, all three swamps were devastated. As Farquaad fled back to his swamps, he erected a gargantuan wall behind him. Shrek was left with a devastated kingdom. Only one choice bestowed upon him: he mustn't forge greater powers for himself, but to generate beings with the capabilities of civilization. There came the foundations of early humans. Only one flaw had emerged: with the rudimentary strength of the mortals made their souls vulnerable to Farquaad's will. With every vassalized soul of Farquaad deterioration, they would instead advance Farquaad's army. It was a gamble, but a gamble in which he had no choice in the matter. Shrek had to do it. Shrek summoned Donkey and Fiona to his throne room. Donkey begged Shrek, "What has come of you? My realm lies in ruin, yet you do not rebuild it? You dare lay down demands for me?" Shrek's voice roared across the folds of existence, rumbling what was left of reality after the war. "Was it not IWHO first created you? Was it not IWHO defeated Farquaad, leaving him to cower in his own realm?" Donkey interjected. "Master, forgive me." "Silence!" Shrek boomed while slamming his fists onto the armrest of his onion-laminated throne. "You know nothing of your future, yet you lay at my feet and command my actions? Then tell me of this future," Donkey demanded. "Lesser beings, subservient to you," Shrek explained, "they shall follow you, they are under your command, as you are under me." "They are mortal, what of them after their death?" Donkey inquired. "I will grant them free will, their choices in life determine their afterlife," Shrek countered. "However, another being must create them for me. The complexities of free will are too big a burden for me to carry alone." "So what do you suggest?" Donkey questioned. Only a bee can aid me in this paradoxical burden. Shrek calculated he shall be dubbed Barry B. Benson, the architect of life. But what of our kingdom, Shrek? Fiona intruded. Shall they remain an empty wasteland, a shell of its former glory? She questioned. What of Farquaad? What if he attains this preposterous talent? As I said, I have granted them a choice. Free thinking. Free will. Shrek explained. Shrek strolled down the marshy plateau of his castle and overlooked the swamps between. He lifted his substantial palm and examined his left shoulder and witnessed the sight of black and yellow particles swarm the area behind him. There the fifth life form had been assembled and was seated on Shrek's shoulder. "Ya like jazz?" the bean uttered, its first words. "Donkey. Rebuild your swamps in a habitable location for the mortals," Shrek commanded. "It will be named Earth." "Of course," Donkey replied. "Barry. Accompany me in the production of life," Shrek ordered. "Let's shake it up a little," Barry B. Benson responded.